Hey everybody, it's Kim, and it's time for another episode of Empower. And today I want to talk about self limiting behaviors. If you've been watching for a while, you know that I talk about things that can be character flaws, or we're, we're on a journey to improve ourselves and to get better. And sometimes the journey is difficult most of the time. Okay. The journey is difficult. And if we can find a way to avoid some things, we usually tend to do that just because the work is hard. And sometimes it seems like it's never going to end. And sometimes what we've been dealing with for so long that we don't even know how to begin. And so today I want to talk about some things that we can be either knowingly or unknowingly allowing to sabotage us. And I want to call them self limiting behaviors. So there are things that you know that you have been called to do or you want to do. It's your purpose, it's your life's work, it's your passion. And there are some things that have been prohibiting you either by design, self design, or just by their mere existence. And so the first one I want to talk about, which I've talked about on here quite a bit, is deprecating self talk. In other words, we down ourselves. We say these things out loud. Oh, I'm so stupid. I don't know how I didn't notice that. Why am I such a moron? I can't do anything right. I don't even know. I'm not qualified to do this. Who wants to listen to me? How can I have anything worth value? Why would anyone listen to me? I'm not an expert in XYZ. I haven't been, my platform is small. I don't have all of these things that we say that keep us boxed in. So it's dangerous, right? I'm not talking about taking an actual objective sit down evaluation of yourself and saying, okay, you procrastinate, so you need to make a schedule, or you're perpetually late, so you need to prep the night before. I'm not talking about that kind of constructive talk and an awareness of who you are. I'm talking about because someone has said these things to you before and you've now internalized them and that's become your soundtrack, or because you have struggled with certain things and it didn't come easy to you. Now you think you're horrible at it. We have to be mindful of the things that we are saying about ourselves because you're listening to you. And even the Bible tells us that there's power in this tongue. And what I say, I'm going to believe. And once I believe it, it's hard to uproot that thing. So that's the first of the self-limiting behaviors that we have to be mindful of, and we have to change, as I always say, change your confession and say what God says about you. I may be learning this, so it's difficult right now. But oh, when I get it, when I get this down pat, when I master it, when I understand it, when I put in the work to perfect it, oh, y'all gonna get it. Y'all in trouble. Once I understand it, once I manage it, once I get it, a working knowledge of it, it's gonna be something. The second thing that's really important is our environment. And so often we stop when we think about like our house or where we live. No, our environment is also who we follow on social media, what podcasts we listen to, what videos we watch. Those things are part of our environment, our mental environment, the things that are in our mind that just are in our subconscious that they can come back and play themselves back over without us press and play without us looking for it. It can strike a chord in us, and we'll go right back to this place of, man, I shouldn't be doing this. We diminish ourselves and we doubt our capability. All of those things can happen because of our environment. So be careful who you allow to be around you, what you listen to, what you watch, how you spend your time. Do things that benefit you. The third thing I want to talk about is toxicity, which just means harmful or malicious type behavior or poisonous situations. When something is no longer serving you well and it goes from a nuisance to harmful, it's gone too far. We often, especially as women, tend to just let things go, let things go, let things go. And then by the time we get ready to address it, it's huge, it's a monster. We feel like we can't even, how do I even begin to tear this down, because it has gotten so big, it has gotten so out of hand. This person has encroached so far past my boundaries that I don't even know how to get them back out without just being rude and getting rid of them. We have to be careful about toxicity. Did you know that you can be toxic to yourself? And this goes back to this self-talk that I was saying when we first started this video. That's toxic. That creates a toxic environment. People who only want to talk about what you did in the past and who you used to be. You don't get to come around me and keep reminding me of my failure, reminding me of the things that I wish I had done better. No, once I have gotten past it and I have, if it required forgiveness from God and I got that, you don't get to come back and throw that up in my face. No, I'm not entertaining it. It's not that I'm going to pretend that I didn't do it, but I'm not going to allow you to rub my face in it. So we have to be mindful about toxic levels, because once it begins to escalate, once that negativity is a part of toxicity, where everything is going to be bad, nothing can be good, no good can come of this, everything is, oh, woe is me, and it's terrible and it's awful and I can never. We have to cut that out. And anyone who thinks that way, speaks that way, behaves that way, we've got to let that out of our mouth. We got to get rid of it out of our mind, out of our ears. We got to let it go. The next one I want to talk about is a failure fixation. Listen, being stuck on the fact that I tried something and it didn't work. I went down this road before and now here I am again. Every time I reach out to do this, that, and the third, it never works. Every time I try, this happens. I can never get ahead because everything that I've ever done that was wrong, I stick to that so that I don't try anything new. That limits you. That limits me, because then we're afraid to try. And then it almost is self-fulfilling prophecy, because I'm already a failure at it if I'm not going to try it. So we have to be careful not to fixate on the failure. Yeah, okay, it may not have worked. There was something that somebody that I admire, Magic Johnson, said. He's like, fail better, fail bigger. Next time, be doing something so big that the next failure, learn from what you failed at, and then keep going. Don't stay and wallow in that failure. Don't down yourself, because if you've never done something before and it's your first time, give yourself some grace, because it might not work, but try again. The next one I want to talk about is procrastination. Just waiting to start, just waiting to do it. There's going to be a perfect time. There's going to be a perfect day. There's going to be a perfect situation. There's going to be a perfect amount of money. No, none of that is true. That very rarely happens, where everything aligns all at once and then you're going to be ready in that moment to step in. Not really. Let's be real with ourselves. Procrastination is such an inhibitor to any type of progress because and the longer we wait, the easier it is to wait. The longer we wait, the harder it is for us to get started. So don't procrastinate. As I said so many times through these videos, do one thing every day that gets you closer to what you're trying to do, where you're trying to be, who you're trying to be. And the last one that I'll discuss in this video is doubt. I just don't know that I can do it. I just don't believe I can do it. That's a part of self-talk. Nobody who got anything done and they're the first at doing it or the 10th at doing it knew that it was going to work necessarily. They had, if they believed in themselves, they were like, this won't fail. But I mean, a guarantee, like, I have this in writing that X, Y, or Z. No, this is about risk. This is about trusting yourself. This is about believing yourself. This is about working it out. This is about going through the process. This stuff is not guaranteed. It is not easy. It is not any of that. And if I didn't, just to use myself for an example, um, if I didn't know that this is what God had told me to do, and if I didn't believe, and if this wasn't my passion to empower and enlighten and embolden women and girls, I would have stopped this a long time ago. Because if I'm honest, the interaction that I get, it's not inspiring. The number of followers or comments or shares or anything that I get, likes, it's not inspiring at all. But that's not why I do it. I do it because I love it, and I do it because I know that this is what God has for me to do. So always be sure that you're operating from the right place. And if you keep plugging away, things will change. I fully believe, I actually have no doubt whatsoever that Empower is going to be huge. I don't doubt it. I believe it. It's needed, it's necessary. And if it's just a slow growth, that's fine because I'm one person, so it kind of needs to be a slow growth. But I keep at this because I believe in it, because I believe in it, because I believe in me. It took me a while to get it started. It took me a while to put myself out there because I was a bit of a control freak and a perfectionist. The Lord is still working with me on some of those areas. But I determined, God, what I'm not going to do is be in a place where you say now is your time and I'm not ready. I'm not going to let that be. There's too much at stake. There are too many people that can benefit. There's too much that I have been through that I'm going to share um, to just keep waiting. So I just want to encourage you today, don't limit yourself by negative self-talk or toxic energy or procrastination, or being fixated on a failure that you've had in the past. It's a new day. We passed that already. We off that. So on to the next, right? So I just want to encourage you guys to speak better to yourself because you hear you before anyone else does. You hear you. And you deserve better. So I'm going to end right there so that it's not, the video doesn't get too long. But if you would please share the video. Follow me on Instagram, Empower540. On Facebook, Empower. This is probably where you're seeing this. But I'm not going to say that. You might be watching this on YouTube. You might have gone on YouTube and put Empower in the search, and bam, you're watching it there. Whichever way, I just want you guys to be encouraged. Know that what you're working towards is worth working towards. And you'll get there if you don't quit. So start now. And I'll see y'all next time.